All right, if you're a student in the Philippines, you've definitely seen the letters NSTP. You know, it's that thing that's a required part of your first year in college. But what is it really all about? Well, today we're going to demystify the whole thing and break down Republic Act 9163, the law that started it all. I mean, seriously. You know you have to take it, but do you actually know its purpose? Is it just another class to get through, another box to check? Or is there a much bigger idea behind it? That's exactly what we're going to unpack right now.
Okay, first things first. Let's get a solid handle on what this law actually is. We're going to start with the basics, the official definition, and the core idea driving this whole program.
So here it is, the official name, the National Service Training Program Act of 2001. You know, at its heart, this law is really trying to do two main things. First, boost your civic consciousness. Basically, your awareness of your role as a citizen. And second, get you ready for national defense. It's all about training and service. And just so you know, everything we're talking about today comes straight from the official rulebook for the law. It's called the Implementing Rules and Regulations, or IRR. This is the main document that tells every school in the country exactly how to run the program. Now, let's go a little deeper than just the legal definition. There's a whole philosophy behind this law. It's not just a school requirement. It's actually framed as a pretty fundamental part of being a Filipino citizen. This quote right here, from the law itself, is honestly the key to understanding the whole thing. It sets up this two-way street, right? The government has a job to protect you, and in return, you, as a citizen, have a responsibility to help protect the nation and make it a better place. It's all about shared commitment. And this is how the law sees young people. On one hand, you're seen as absolutely vital, and the government has a duty to help you grow in every way, physically, morally, intellectually. But on the other hand, you're also viewed as the nation's most valuable resource, a resource that needs to be motivated and trained for service.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get practical. How do you actually do this? The cool thing is, you get to choose your own adventure.
That's right, NSTP is not a one-size-fits-all program. It used to be mainly about mandatory military training, but after a lot of discussion and calls for change, this law was created to give you options. There are 3 different paths you can take, each with a totally different focus. So here are your 3 choices. First, you've got the Reserve Officers Training Corps, or ROTC. This one is all about military training for national defense. Then there's the Civic Welfare Training Service, or CWTS. This is where you get involved in community projects. Think health programs, environmental cleanups, that kind of thing. And last, you have the Literacy Training Service, or LTS, which trains you to teach reading and math to people who need it most. But here's the important part. It doesn't matter which one you pick, ROTC, CWTS, or LTS. The law is super clear that all 3 programs have to share the same core goals: to instill patriotism, good moral character, and a deep respect for the rights of every citizen. Okay, this brings us to the final and maybe the most important question for anyone listening right now. Who exactly has to do this?
Let's just cut to the chase. Does this law apply to you? Well, the rules are pretty clear about who is required to sign up and finish one of these NSTP programs.
So who's on the hook? Basically, all incoming first-year students, both male and female. It doesn't matter if you're in a 4-year degree program or a 2-year TechVoc course, you're required to enroll. And here's the kicker. Completing an NSTP component is a requirement for graduation. No NSTP, no diploma. And what about the schools? Yep, pretty much all of them are covered. We're talking state universities and colleges, private universities, and TechVoc schools. It's also worth pointing out that all the state-run universities, the SUCs, are specifically required to have ROTC as an option for their students. So, does anyone get a pass? Yes, but the list is really, really short. If you're a student at one of the major service academies, like the Philippine Military Academy, the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, or the Philippine National Police Academy, you're exempt because your training already covers the whole national service idea. So, let's boil it all down to one simple sentence. If you're a new college or TechVoc student in the Philippines, NSTP is a mandatory part of your education that's designed to get you involved in building a better nation, one way or another. And that really brings us to the final thought. The law makes national service a duty, right? A requirement you have to fulfill. But the real question is for you. Beyond just passing the course,
How can you make it something you're genuinely passionate about? How do you turn that duty into a real desire to serve your community and your country?